Alright, so today we're going to pull this engine out. It's a 2.7 liter Chrysler engine. The first thing we need to do is we need to take off the intake. This is done by taking off 8 bolts. One is right here. 5 of them are in between these slots. And then 2 are over here. You also need to take off this hose that is connected with 2 bolts, one right here and one down here. And then on this side, one down here and one over here. And you also need to disconnect the throttle cables. Alright, we got our intake off. And I put paper towels into these holes so that nothing falls into the engine. The next thing we're going to do is you have to take off the exhaust. That's done by taking off these 3 bolts. And there's a screw right under here. And to make this easier, you can take off the dipstick so you can fit your wrench back under there and take that screw off. Also, you have to take off the exhaust on the back, and there's just 4 bolts back there, there's no screw. And you can just feel around back there until you get them. They're back here. But an easier way to do it, if you want to do a little bit of extra work, you can take off this valve cover, and you can easily see all the bolts back there. Okay, we've already taken off the exhaust. The next thing we're going to take off is the alternator. You do that by taking out these 2 screws, followed by a third one that's down here. And you have to take off this cable, which I already did, by loosening this nut. And then there's this plug that's down here that you also have to take off. The next thing we're going to take off is the exhaust manifold. That's done by taking off these screws that are down here, that are right here, and there's about 7 of them.
¿Y cómo está todo? Wow, really?
Yeah, but it works.
Está todo borroso.
It's because it's not focused. It's easy, isn't it?
¿Ya le tomaste el otro motor?
No.
Vamos a tomarle acá.
No te lo pierdas. En Toyota rinde una nueva Alternator 2014 por $269 al mes por 36 meses con $1,499 al firmar. Toyota, vayamos juntos. Si le quieres la y aquí encontrarás todos los conceptos y partes para tu auto. ¡Qué rico! Claro, puedes ir a otras tiendas de autopartes, pero te vas a quedar con un gusto. Ahora mismo ven ahora a incluir una nueva batería de hora, que tenga potencia confiable con que puedes tomar. Solo
Okay, I got the wrench stuck. The next thing we're taking off is the starter. To do that, you have to take off this shield by taking off this bolt right here and one over here on the side. The next thing we're going to take off is this engine mount. You have to take off this bolt, this one over here, and then there's 2 more on the bottom. Okay, so we've taken off the engine mount that goes right here, and we've taken off the starter, which goes here, and now we have to take out the crankshaft pulley. You have to get this specific crankshaft pulley puller that you can get at AutoZone or any automotive shop, and it has to be Chrysler specific. Okay, so we removed a little more than whatever recorded, but we took out the bolts that hold in the transmission, and there's 4 that go over here on the top, and there's 1 that goes down here, goes down over here, and then there's 1 on the other side in the same place. So what's next is that there's an The engine mount that's over here, it's held on by 3 bolts, and then through the bottom.
Como video por todos lados. Sigue tomando video. Vamos acá. Tómale video ahí arriba donde casi pegan el cofre, pero no.
Sorry, I didn't know you wanted to be the star.
Hasta que esté fuera.
Espérate, espérate.
Hasta que esté acá afuera. ¿Qué faltó?
Pues, tráelo para acá. Te llevas todo el arnés contigo. Okay.
Okay. The engine out. Muy bien.